How's it going, guys? Welcome to another episode of DojoTV, a show where I talk about all things motion graphics, visual effects, industry news, and content around the web. My name is Vincent Nguyen from the Creative Dojo. Today, I'm really excited to relaunch something that I've been wanting to relaunch for quite some time now, and I've been getting a few questions about it, and that is the Kuler 5 competition. Now, if you've been following me for quite some time, you may have been familiarized with the Kuler 5 project I've been doing, or competitions I've been doing way back in the day, maybe like 2 years ago or something like that. But if you're not familiar with it, pretty much it's a video competition where designers create a 5-second animation, only 5 seconds long, using a color palette from Kuler by Adobe. Now, it's a site where pretty much it's a site that helps you manage and find creative complementary color palettes or color schemes for your project. So basically, create a 5-second animation, and you have to use the Kuler 5 color schemes in your project somehow, and it revolves around a theme. So I've been thinking about it, and I thought it'd be a great time to relaunch it now because I have a lot of new viewers, a lot of new designers in the Creative Dojo community now. So I thought maybe it's time to relaunch this thing. So this Kuler 5's theme is going to be destruction. So you pretty much have to create a 5-second animation using the Kuler 5 colors. Make sure you use Kuler colors. I really don't want you guys to be using any other colors besides the colors in the Kuler palette. But if you have to, or maybe it's something that you really need to do, then maybe, you know, add 2 or 3 colors in there that are not in the Kuler palette. But pretty much create a Kuler palette or find a Kuler palette, use those colors in the animation somehow, some way, and maybe only add 1 or 2 additional colors to it if you really need to, like black or gray or whatever that is. Add that in, create a 5-second animation, upload it to Vimeo, and it has to be Vimeo, and then send me a link as well as a link with the Kuler palette that you created or that you use. And at the end of the contest, I will be selecting the top 3 entries, and I'll also be critiquing it in the next dojo show, giving you some advice, showcasing your channel or showcasing your website or whatever, your portfolio. So it's a really great way to just have some fun, be creative, experiment, and it's just a really great way to just add content to your reel. So even if you don't make the top 3, it's still great content for your reel. And if you do happen to be the top 3, then you get some promotion or some exposure to your site or whatever have you. But pretty much it's a great way to just have fun, experiment. It's only 5 seconds long, so it shouldn't take you too long to create. But so just some little fun to create. Now the deadline for this Kuler 5 project is going to be August 18th, so it's almost a month from now. So you have a lot of time to do this. It's just some fun, and I'll pick the winners somewhere around there. So really looking forward to all the entries, because in the last few Kuler 5 we had some really great entries back like 2 years ago. This is a long time ago, but so check it out. Kuler 5 competition, spread the word. Now, in recent news, if you followed the Foundry, they announced and teased a new product called Colorway, which is essentially a design application really catered towards 3D artists and client work. And what Colorway allows you to do is it allows you to pretty much model your 3D scenes in your application of choice, such as Modo or Cinema 4D, and then you can actually tag the materials in your application and export it into Colorway. And Colorway allows you to pretty much change the color, change the materials, the textures, the logos, the lighting intensities of your 3D scene on the fly without actually having to pretty much re-render the whole scene over and over again in your application. So it's a really great way to just kind of, gather ideas as well as send it to your client. So there's an app called the Colorway Presenter, which is an application that your client will download. And then once they are in that application, they can open up your 3D scenes and they can actually change the color of 3D objects that you tag yourself on the fly. So let's say you send the 3D project to your client, they can change the color of the wall if they want it to the exact color that they want, or they can change the lighting of a particular light, or maybe switch their logos, etc. So pretty much Colorway is a kind of workflow application that allows you to tag certain materials, set options for those materials, and then you can send it to your client so that they can choose the options that they want. And then, you get all the information back into your 3D application, and you can make the edits, in there. So pretty much you don't have to keep on guessing what color they want, what hex code do they want for this wall or for this color, whether this sofa or whatever. They can pretty much pick the color that you choose, or they can define a color, and that all gets transferred back to you, so you know exactly what color they want, or exactly how much light they want. So it's a pretty cool application. Currently not out yet, but you can pretty much test it for Modo and Cinema 4D right now. And you can read all about it at the Foundry's website, which I will link down below in the article. So check that out, Colorway, the new product from the Foundry. Now, before we move on to the next section, I want to go and talk about our friends and sponsors over at Squarespace. Now, if you're looking to create an awesome website, store portfolio, Squarespace is the place to be. They got brilliant support, 24-hour support. They have tons of gorgeous, beautiful themes you can choose from for your site. Everything is completely customizable, and you also have an easy-to-use page builder to create your website the way you want it to be. Now, if you use the promo code DOJO, you can actually save 10% off your order and also support the show. So check it out, squarespace.com/dojo. A really great sponsor, really great having them sponsor the show and, create beautiful websites. So check them out. There's also a little After Effects preset that everyone's talking about, and it's called Ouroboros by a guy named Saunders. And pretty much he was working on a project for Google, so pretty reputable. And he pretty much created a preset for the project that he's willing to share with everyone. It's absolutely free, name your own price, so you can pay whatever you want, so definitely check it out. But basically, it's a preset that allows you to create multiple trim strokes within one path. So you can create some really interesting dynamic trims, strokes, and different colors, different sizes, tapering, all that stuff within a single path within After Effects. So it's very, very handy. He has a beautiful demo video explaining how it works, how to use it, some tips and tricks, a beautiful UI, help documentation and stuff like that. So it's a very handy little preset. I found it very helpful. And if you do motion graphics, I highly recommend that you check it out. It's free, pay whatever you want, really great preset, very handy, so check it out. Now, I've been watching quite a few tutorials this week. One that really stood out to me was a tutorial by a guy named Carrie, aka Blinky from MoGraph.net. You may know him from MoGraph.net. And pretty much he walks you through the process of storyboarding for animation. It's a little bit different from, storyboarding from film. He walks you through from the initial concept to sketching to Photoshop mockup to After Effects mockup, and actually, pretty much walks you through the process of storyboarding, initial ideas, all the way to pretty much the finished project. He does this in a very nice video, time-lapse form, so it's very interesting to see his work, and he has some really great talking points, so check it out. It's a really interesting tutorial or video. And he has a lot of other video tutorials or videos about, cutting a demo reel and stuff like that. So it's very interesting. Check it out. If you guys remember around the NAB 2014 time, a lot of people were talking about the Nodes 2 plugin that was just kind of announced and released. Now, it's a Mac-only plugin, which is very limiting for a lot of people. But essentially, if you're interested in it, it's pretty much a Mac plugin that allows you to create interesting UI, graphical elements, HUDs, cool futuristic stuff. Kind of reminds me of Plexus and Form, combined together or something like that. But basically, Aaron Stern did a really nice walkthrough beginner tutorial about how to use Node 2. And it was my first time seeing Node 2 in action. So, check it out if you're on Mac and you're interested in this kind of stuff. So check it out. Now, the last video that I want to share with you guys is a very entertaining and pretty funny video titled Shit Show Reel Says by Peter Quinn. It's a very funny animation, pretty much making fun of pretty much all the commonplace demo reel stuff that everyone does, such as, a lot of Plexus stuff or, globes or phones. Pretty much he's making fun of all the things that people usually put in their demo reels, demo reel trends, have you. It's pretty much a parody, very well made. So, go ahead and check it out. So that's pretty much for this DojoTV episode. If you guys have any questions or feedback, feel free to let me know down below. If you have any suggestions on what I should change or what I should add, or maybe you have some content that you want to add to the show, feel free to share with me in the comments down below or email me. But again, my name is Vincent Wynn from the Creative Dojo, and I'll see you guys next time.